All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mustard Stain Cooking Show. This is episode one of what I hope to be many. This is in my kitchen here at home, and the premise of this whole thing is to make easy cooking, easy stuff, comfort food, and stuff that you'll all enjoy to taste. So today, to kick it right off, right out of the gate, we're making something called tomato soup. In that, we're going to put a little bit of onion. As you can see, we've got an onion to start off with here. We're going to use some hamburger. That looks like about quarter of a pound or so. Because on this show, we don't measure, we just put it in. We got some of these spirally looking things. See, they look just like that. So this is spiral pasta. I'm sure it has a name. I'll look it up. We're going to use some tomato soup. Shameless plug, Campbell's. We're going to use some diced tomato. Shameless plug for the No Name brand. Yes. The show is called The Mustard Stain. I'm going to try and put just a dash of mustard in everything. Here it is. Shameless plug. French's. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, all the good stuff. And away we go. So let's get started with cutting up some onions and getting the hamburger ready to go into the pan to get browned. So we're going to take just a regular knife. It's been sharpened already, so I don't need to do what those other guys do on TV and use all that stuff. I sharpened it beyond anything that needs to be sharpened. So we're just going to take a little and cut this like this. Make a couple cuts like this, right there. Boom. I don't care how you dice your onions. Just get them into a diced kind of an area so that you can put them into the pan there with the meat. It doesn't take long. Smash them around a little bit. Hey, you hear that ding-a-linging? That's my dog. Her name is Roxy. We don't have any sponsors for this show. We're just doing it. We're just going to do it. So there, that was easy. Look at the onions. Already done. See? Look. Boom. Onions. Here's the meat. I like to use cast iron. This is going to be for the pasta later, so I'm not sure what size this is, but it's a pan. Cast iron. Bam. Love it. Here we go. Let's get the onions in the pan. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm going to turn the oven on. Don't go. So I have control of my stove there. It's a really hot one, but my wife always gets mad at me for making it too hot, but we'll get over that. Okay. Here we go. That's in there. We're going to take this little bit of hamburger, slam it in there as well. This is all going to cook together. Now, the reason I'm going to cook the onions and the meat together, because I want the onions to be sort of brownish, almost on the edge of burnt, but not really. So we're going to get there. Okay, put that there. Now, pepper. Boom. Let's use some pepper. Like I said, we don't measure. We just do it until we think it feels right. So let's get that pepper in there. Okay. Let's get a little bit of salt. Not too much salt, because everything can get a little salty. So just a couple, bang. You know that guy that does the thing with his elbow and all that? We don't do that here. We just do it the other way. Okay. Onion powder. Love this stuff. Slam a little bit of that on there. Like I said, we don't measure. We just pour it on there. And then we're going to put on some garlic powder. Yeah, here we go. Just kind of pour it on there. Like that. A little bit later on, I'm going to add some hot sauce. But right now, we're going to take this over to the stove and get this browning. And I'll be back with the other preparation of the pasta. Pasta's simple. You just throw it in the water. I think add some salt to the water. Poof, I don't know. That's what I've seen done before. I'll be back. Hey, I'm back. I just want to show you guys what this meat's starting to look like. Look at that. This is going to go inside the stuff. Remember those squirrely things I was telling you about, squigglies? Yeah. Look at that. So you want it just to be a little bit, and hopefully these onions are going to brown up a little bit as well. That's exactly what I was going for. There's the water. Oh, look, I didn't turn the stove on. Let's do that. Oh, maybe the right one. There we go. That's for those pasta deals. There we go. Have a look at that. I'll be back at the end of the show to tell you exactly what was in this thing. All right, we're back here. I'm going to get some water in the pot. We're going to get the pasta going. Remember those squirrely, squiggly looking things? I'm not sure what they're called. Rigatoni, spaccaroni. I'm not even sure. So we'll get those in the pot. Remember to add a little salt to the water. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some boiling water here. So here we go. See? Simple. We got the pasta. We're just going to dump her into the water. Whoop. Can you see that? There we go. Get the last one in there. Oh, let's give you a little... Whoa, look at that. All right, here comes the tomato part. I've went ahead and opened the can. You didn't want to watch that. I know that for sure. So we're going to take some of that tomato soup, put it into an empty saucepan or whatever you want to use. We're not going to use fancy words around here like reduction and all those crazy terms. No, simple. We're just doing it. There goes the tomato soup. Get your little spatula out there. I'm sure you got one in the kitchen there somewhere. So we're going to mix that up. But here's the tricky part about this. Your diced tomatoes. Put a little bit of juice in first. Whoop, don't spill it. Kind of mix that around a little bit. Get this out of the way. You don't need this anymore. There you go. Just kind of put that in there. Don't want it to be chunky. We're going to just kind of get that soup kind of going. Mix that tomato soup as you're mixing in these diced tomatoes so it doesn't get all... And just stir it. Stir it. Don't reduce it. We don't use big words. There we go. All right, the pasta's cooking. You've seen that. So there, that's all in there. We're stirring. Now, we're going to wait for the meat and the pasta, and I'll be back to show you how to add all that together. And then the best part, plating. We're going to do some plating. This is exciting. Hey, remember that tomatoes and diced tomatoes and all that stuff that we put in? We're going to get that on the stove now and just heat it up a little bit. Keep stirring it. Move it around a little bit. But it does have to be heated. Oh, look. Look at this. It's going to boil over. Oh, but the wooden spoon trick might work. I learned about this one day. Home economics, grade 7. Look at that. Let's go back here. Looks like that's going to hang on. The old wooden spoon trick. Look, it's working. We're just doing it. Look at that. There we go. So get this warm. Don't have to boil it or nothing. Remember, we're not reducing anything. Here we go. Look at the wooden spoon. It's holding that stuff right there. Interesting. It's magic. A little update on the pasta. It's starting to look really good. I've heard words like al dente and all kinds of stuff, but that's a fancy word, so we're not going to use that. We're going to just go with what tastes good. But that looks pretty good. Also, update on this. We're just mixing, and I'll be back when we put this all together. All right, so here's the fun part, because you get to dump stuff. So we're going to take these pastas. We're going to dump it into that pot where the tomatoes are. Dump those in there. Simple. We just dump. Then we're going to take that meat in the frying pan. See, look. Ooh, look at that. Here it comes. Oh, we're going to dump it all over the table by the looks of it, but that's okay, because we don't care. And it goes. Get all that good stuff on the bottom. That's what I was hoping for with those onions. Remember I told you I put it all together? That's why. Oh, there we go. Now, just take everything that's been put into that pan and just mix it together. Look at that. That's starting to look good. That is starting to look really, really good. Let me just give you a picture of it here in a minute. So now we're just going to put it back on the stove for a little bit. And we're going to add just a couple of things before we do that. Have a look at this. Does this not make you want your tongue just to jump right out of your mouth? Look at that. Wow. Okay. A little hot sauce. Just dump some in there. Boom. Look at that. It's going to be good. I use Frank's Red. I don't care what you use. You use gasoline. I don't care. And finally, we're the mustard stain. Just a boop of mustard. I'm not sure I can get mustard in everything. Like if I make a lemon pie one time, I don't know. We'll see. Get that all mixed around. I'm going to stick this back on the stove for maybe 8 minutes or so. Get it just to a nice temperature. And I'll be right back to wrap up everything. All right, so this is exciting. We're almost at the end of the first dish. I don't know. That might be a fancy word, but here, have a look inside there. See what we've got? The ultimate in tomato. So we're just going to take it and we're just going to stick it on the plate a little bit like that. Just kind of get that around there a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. How much ever you would like, actually. And you can make yourself a little salad on the side. And these croutons are fantastic when you mix them in with the dish. And we're not doing any fancy plating around here because there's nothing fancy about this. But there you go. Something that's easy to get going and something that's easy to make. I'll be right back to tell you exactly what's in it and what we did. All right, that brings us to the end of episode 1. How much fun did we have? That was fun. The Mustard Stain is going to be trying to do something weekly. I'm hoping that you're going to subscribe. I really would appreciate it if you do. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Just kind of search up the Mustard Stain and see what you come up with. But let's just recap exactly what we did. We made tomato soup with hamburger and onions and those spirally looking different pastas. I'm not sure what they're called, but we don't care. So here we are. We have the pasta. Boil it just like normal. We've got the onions. We've got about a quarter of a pound of ground beef. Put it into a cast iron pan is what I use, but you can use whatever you want because you know what? We just don't care. We're just doing it. So put it in there, brown it all up. Then we did do a little segment there on just how to get that tomato soup and those diced tomatoes just to not be all clingy and clumpy and gross. So that's another way that you just do it that way. Then we've added some salt, some pepper, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and we added some Frank's Red hot sauce. And yeah, we didn't measure because we don't measure. Measuring is too practical, and we just dump stuff in. So that's what this is all about. It's about easy. It's about dumping stuff in and cooking it. We've got tomato soup that's going to be easy for you to take to lunch, for work. Send it with the kids. And all the other kids will be so jealous of what they've got that they'll be asking, where did you get that? And you'll say the Mustard Stain. And then they'll go look for me here on YouTube. So that's it. I hope to see you guys next time. And I hope to see you next week. Not sure what we're cooking yet. I never know until I decide to do it. Because that's what we do. We just do it and we don't measure. Until then, see you later. Hit subscribe. That's it. The Mustard Stain is out for this week.